Over 3 million tourists have canceled their trips to the United States, and the dominoes are falling fast. Entire airports are on life support, and it's not just a temporary blip. This could be the death knell for American tourism. According to Forbes and U.S. Travel Association data, the United States could lose over $64 billion in tourism revenue in 2025 alone. The reasons? New visa restrictions, geopolitical backlash, rising costs, and the aftershock of Canada and Europe pulling back. So, which airports are feeling the pain first? Here are the 10 U.S. airports that have gone from packed to practically deserted, and why it's happening now. Before we move on, hit the like button to boost this video in the algorithm and support our work. Number 10. Miami International Airport. Once the crown jewel of American tourism to Latin America and the Caribbean, Miami International has become a ghost town. With over 650,000 Canadian tourists canceling trips to Florida this year alone, according to ABC Mondial, the airport has seen a dramatic dip in international arrivals. Luxury terminals that once overflowed with travelers from Mexico, Argentina, and Europe are now operating at less than 40% capacity. Airlines like Air Canada and Lufthansa have already cut multiple weekly flights, and businesses inside the terminal are reporting losses of up to 70% year over year. The Sunshine State is hurting, and Miami's empty runways are proof that this isn't just about travel delays. It's a collapse in confidence in the U.S. as a tourism hub. Number 9. Orlando International Airport. Once a bustling hub for families headed to Walt Disney World and Universal Studios, Orlando International is now facing a tourism freeze that feels almost surreal. Travel agencies report a 22% drop in international arrivals in just the first half of 2025. And the ripple effect is brutal. Terminals that once echoed with excited children and rolling suitcases now sit eerily quiet. Canadian and European travelers, long the backbone of Orlando's tourism economy, are canceling flights en masse. This isn't just about one theme park or one bad quarter. It's about a cascading loss of confidence. With diplomatic tensions rising and safety concerns mounting, travel bookings from abroad have fallen below 2016 levels, a decade-long low. Even domestic traffic can't make up the difference. With American families cutting back due to inflation and recession fears, Orlando's airport is caught in a vice. Hotel occupancy in Orange County has plummeted, and Uber drivers are reporting fewer and fewer airport pickups, down nearly 35% from this time last year. The economic consequences are severe. Orlando International is one of Florida's largest employment zones, directly or indirectly supporting over 90,000 jobs. But with gates empty and terminals understaffed, layoffs have already begun, and the local economy is bracing for a long winter. What was once the gateway to America's theme park capital now feels like a cautionary tale. Without a dramatic reversal in tourism trends, MCO could become a symbol of just how fast an industry can unravel when international goodwill fades. Number 8. San Francisco International Airport. San Francisco International Airport, a beacon of West Coast connectivity, has become another casualty in the post-2025 tourism crash. Once a magnet for tech entrepreneurs, global conferences, and high-end Asian tourism, SFO is now grappling with flight cancellations, plummeting passenger numbers, and a grim financial outlook. According to Bloomberg, international traffic through SFO is down 27% year over year, with sharp declines in visitors from Japan, South Korea, and China. The Bay Area's tech slowdown, combined with a dip in trans-Pacific flights, has gutted what used to be one of the busiest international corridors in the U.S. But it's not just fewer flights. It's the broader narrative that's keeping people away. Headlines about rising crime in San Francisco, ongoing political protests, and chaotic airport conditions have gone viral globally. Travel advisory sites have flagged SFO as a high-caution destination for tourists, a label that's already scaring off bookings into 2026. The economic impact? Devastating. Local businesses in the airport's orbit, from airport lounges to parking services to city hotels, are losing millions each month. Airport concession revenue has reportedly dropped by 43%, according to an internal city audit, and several retail shops inside SFO have permanently closed. SFO isn't just an airport. It's a symbol of California's global connection. And now, with terminals half empty and international carriers pulling back, it's becoming a glaring sign of what happens when confidence in American travel falters. The Golden Gate feels more like a closed gate for millions of would-be visitors. Number 7. John F. Kennedy International Airport. New York City's pride, JFK International Airport, has long stood as a gateway to the American dream, but in 2025, that gateway is jamming shut. The airport that once welcomed over 62 million passengers annually is now running at just 63% capacity. Terminal 1, which handles many of JFK's international flights, is seeing more idle gates than takeoffs. Europe, in particular, is pulling back. French, German, and British travel agencies are reporting a surge in rerouted vacation bookings, bypassing the U.S. altogether. The July 2025 EU tourism data shows a 30% drop in EU to U.S. travel, with JFK taking the brunt. Once the symbol of international connection, JFK is now being seen by many travelers as a hub to avoid. And the warning signs are everywhere. American Airlines slashed its Paris and Rome routes. Emirates downgraded its daily A380 service to a smaller Boeing 777. Even duty-free shops, once buzzing with global shoppers, are struggling, posting a 48% decline in sales over the past 6 months. New York's broader tourism economy is feeling the pain, too. Hotel tax revenue is down. Broadway attendance is slipping. The once bustling air train now rattles through near-empty terminals. JFK's pain is a preview of what's unfolding nationwide. Global travelers are canceling America. The Big Apple's crown jewel of aviation has become another casualty of collapsing tourism confidence. If the U.S. doesn't fix its image abroad, JFK risks losing its status as America's front door. Before we reveal the next airport, be sure to subscribe. Your support lets us keep exploring the untold stories and sharing content that truly matters. Number 6. Los Angeles International Airport. From Hollywood stars to global influencers, Los Angeles International Airport has long been a hotspot for global glamour. But not anymore. In 2025, LAX is watching its runways go quiet as tourism from Asia and South America nosedives. Airlines are downsizing, and terminals once bustling with long-haul travelers now echo with silence. According to the California Travel Authority, tourist arrivals through LAX are down 29%, with the steepest drops coming from Japan, Brazil, and South Korea. And the backlash is tied directly to international frustrations over U.S. visa delays, tariff policies, and political instability. The airport is no longer a destination, it's a detour. Even LAX's famous Tom Bradley International Terminal, once a nexus of culture and commerce, is feeling the strain. Luxury retailers like Gucci and Bulgari inside the terminal are reporting sales plunges of over 40%, and several major airlines have cut weekly flights. Meanwhile, ground transport services like Lyft and airport shuttles are taking hits too. Local drivers are reporting earnings down 33% year-on-year, and with major conventions pulling out of Los Angeles, the usual business traffic that once filled LAX lounges is vanishing fast. LAX is more than an airport. It's an economic engine for California. But with foreign tourists canceling plans and airlines shifting operations elsewhere, that engine is sputtering. If this trend continues, Los Angeles could lose more than just prestige. It could lose billions. Number 5. Miami International Airport. Miami has always been a magnet for Latin American and European tourists, and Miami International Airport was the beating heart of that connection. But in 2025, that heart is skipping beats. Foreign arrivals have dropped sharply, and MIA now faces one of the steepest international traffic declines in the U.S. According to recent data from the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau, tourist numbers are down 31% year-over-year, with Brazilian and Colombian visitors dropping off the map. Airlines like LATAM and Avianca have already pulled back several routes. Flights that were once daily are now reduced to 2 or 3 per week. Inside the terminals, the energy shift is visible. Luxury shopping concourses once packed with high-spending travelers are eerily quiet. Airport lounges are operating at half capacity. Even U.S. Customs staffing has been scaled back due to the reduced load of incoming passengers. The impact stretches beyond the terminal. Miami hotels have reported the lowest occupancy rate since 2020. And rideshare drivers servicing the airport are reporting 40% fewer international pickups. The ripple effect is slamming Miami's hospitality economy, an industry that thrives on high-volume, high-dollar tourism. What's causing the collapse? Many blame heightened tensions between U.S. and Latin American governments, tougher visa processing, and rising anti-American sentiment. MIA was once the gateway to the Americas, but in 2025, that gateway is being slammed shut. Number 4. Chicago O'Hare International Airport. Chicago O'Hare, one of the busiest hubs in the world, is experiencing something unthinkable, a slowdown that's gutting its international terminals. Once a key connector between Europe, Asia, and the American Midwest, O'Hare is now operating well below capacity, especially on its long-haul routes. Recent reports from the Illinois Office of Tourism show that international arrivals at O'Hare have declined by 28% in the first half of 2025, with sharp reductions in travelers from Germany, India, and China. Flagship carriers like Lufthansa and Air India have slashed flight frequencies, while British Airways has pulled out of Terminal 5 entirely. The effect inside O'Hare is jarring. Immigration lines are shorter, but not in a good way. Restaurant and retail sales are down nearly 35%, and duty-free shops are posting their worst quarters in over a decade. Even airport staff are seeing shift reductions due to lower traffic volume. Chicago's broader economy is feeling the shockwaves. Convention cancellations are stacking up, and international business visits have dried up. A city that relies on global engagement is seeing its bridges cut, and O'Hare is ground zero. The symbolism couldn't be clearer. If O'Hare, with all its global prestige, is faltering, then the message to the world is that America is closed for business. Unless things change, Chicago could lose its status as the crossroads of global commerce. Number 3. Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson has long worn the crown of busiest airport in the world. But in 2025, that title feels more symbolic than operational. With international travel plummeting, ATL is facing a traffic crisis it hasn't seen in decades. The corridors are no longer buzzing, they're echoing. According to the Georgia Department of Economic Development, international arrivals through ATL dropped by 33% in the first 2 quarters of 2025. Delta Airlines, headquartered in Atlanta, has quietly reduced transatlantic services to cities like Paris, Amsterdam, and Rome. Asian connections, especially to Seoul and Tokyo, have also been pulled back significantly. The impact is especially harsh on the airport's international terminal, Concourse F. Once a hive of luxury lounges and bustling duty-free outlets, it now operates at just 56% of its 2023 retail revenue levels. High-end shops catering to foreign travelers are shuttered, and food courts have cut hours drastically. Outside the terminal, the collapse is just as brutal. Atlanta's hotel industry is reporting a 41% drop in international bookings, and airport area rental car agencies have slashed fleets. Many expected a post-COVID rebound. Instead, 2025 is ushering in a collapse. Experts blame a cocktail of factors. Trade tensions, visa backlogs, and rising safety concerns have pushed travelers to other destinations. And if ATL, the world's former air traffic king, is suffering, it's a flashing red warning for the entire U.S. travel infrastructure. Number 2. Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. Dallas-Fort Worth, once a booming international gateway for the South, is now grappling with an uncomfortable truth. Foreign tourists are vanishing. DFW was supposed to be Texas's shining example of global connectedness. Now, it's a symbol of America's travel decline. Recent data from Visit Dallas shows that DFW has lost nearly 2.4 million international travelers in 2025 alone. Flights to and from major destinations like Mexico City, São Paulo, and Beijing have been reduced or cut altogether. American Airlines, which uses DFW as a major hub, has rerouted some of its global operations to more stable demand centers in Europe. The airport's terminals, known for their wide-open spaces and efficient connections, feel strangely empty. Customs and Border Patrol reported a 39% decline in processed foreign visitors in Q2. Even international cargo has taken a hit, slowing down logistics and airport-adjacent commerce. Local tourism operators are in crisis mode. Fort Worth's cultural attractions and Dallas's shopping districts depended heavily on global foot traffic. Hotel occupancy rates have dipped below 60%, a number not seen since the 2008 financial crisis. The message is clear. DFW's downturn isn't temporary, it's systemic. And unless American diplomacy, security, and tourism policies see a radical shift, Dallas-Fort Worth may continue its unexpected descent into quiet terminals and lost revenue. Number 1. Denver International Airport. Denver International, the futuristic airport nestled in the Rockies, has just hit a low no one saw coming. Once a rising star in U.S. aviation, it now finds itself at the top of a list no airport wants to lead. The most impacted by the 2025 tourist crash, and the silence in its expansive terminals says it all. According to a recent Colorado Tourism Office report, Denver lost nearly 42% of its international tourist arrivals by mid-2025. Flights from Germany, Japan, and the UK, once crucial routes for the airport, have been slashed or paused indefinitely. The sleek international gates in Concourse A, once buzzing with travelers, now sit hauntingly underused. The economic fallout is devastating. Denver's local economy depends heavily on tourism-driven industries like mountain resorts, national parks, and cultural events. But with fewer tourists flying in, the ripple effect has reached hotels, restaurants, car rentals, and even ski resorts. Breckenridge and Aspen have reported some of the lowest summer bookings in over a decade, directly linked to flight downturns through Den. Inside the airport, businesses are shutting down. High-end boutiques have boarded up. Airport staff, from TSA agents to shop clerks, are being furloughed. And the famous art installations that once dazzled global travelers now feel like relics of a pre-crash era. For Denver, the collapse is symbolic. This was supposed to be the airport of the future. Innovative, expansive, a hub for international growth. Instead, it has become a warning sign of what happens when U.S. travel loses its global appeal. And in 2025, that appeal is crumbling fast. So what does this all mean? It means that the travel collapse isn't just about tourists. It's about livelihoods, jobs, entire regional economies built around global connectivity. From coast to coast, American airports are bleeding traffic, and no one seems ready to stop the hemorrhage. The data is in. Over 3 million tourists have canceled their U.S. plans, international carriers are pivoting elsewhere, and entire states are feeling the economic aftershock. And with every empty terminal, with every closed gate, America loses a bit more of its global edge. If this trend continues, the consequences won't just be temporary. We're looking at a permanent shift, one where Canada, Europe, and Asia claim the travel dollars that once flowed into American cities. And unless Washington wakes up fast, this may be the new normal. So, what do you think? Can U.S. tourism bounce back? Or are we watching the slow, silent collapse of one of the world's greatest travel giants? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and make sure to subscribe for more global breakdowns just like this.